Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the interview. I'm Grady Catalano.
And I'm Casper.
Today we bring you a special treat. A Roblox developer who has amassed over 102 million visits on Roblox, including his own work such as Nullxiety, No Work, and Isolate and Recursion.
He owns the Nullxiety community with over 73,000 group members and has a YouTube channel with over 7,000 subscribers.
His community is thriving, and his contributions are even better. And he's also one hell of a celebrity to us, so let's welcome the man himself, Nullxiety.
Hello there.
Hi Noel, welcome to the show. How are you doing today?
I'm doing amazing. How are you guys?
We're doing
Jasper?
well, thank you.
Yeah, I'm doing pretty well as well. Um, let's talk about your Roblox journey. If I remember correctly, you started in 2017. That's when you first joined.
Yeah, so I started playing Roblox 2017 when I was a little baby. Played it on my iPad. I don't know, I think my first game was Natural Disaster Survival, something like that. But yeah, I didn't do much up until 2019. That's when the game development part of my Roblox journey began.
All right, no, so everyone has to start somewhere on Roblox, and I think we don't get to hear that kind of story through like a developer's lens. How did you start your Roblox experience? What was it, 2017 when you first joined?
Yeah, so back in 2017, I think I found Roblox when I was playing on my iPad. Yeah, I was a child back then. But
Gotta love iPad kids.
yeah, we used to exist back then as well. But either way, so I found it, thought looked like a cool sandbox game, so I joined, I downloaded it, and my first game was, I think, Natural Disaster Survival. Yeah, it's a good game. Yeah, but after that, my actual development journey started from the game called Flood Escape 2. And I made a map for that game. I was in the community and people were sharing their work. So I was like, okay, I can make something of my own. That's when I, for the first time in my life, opened Roblox Studio.
When did you decide you wanted to start using like Roblox Studio to make your games?
Yeah, so around that time when my maps started to succeed because people really enjoyed them, I thought, why not make my own game, right? That sounded like a lot of fun. I didn't know what to make at the time, but also I just kind of messed around, did whatever came to mind, right? And then for Isolator, I think it was, yeah, I had a dream back then. Well, I was what, 13 years old back in 2019 when I first thought of this idea of like a two-player game. Yeah, and then I just kind of started making the game, and Isolator was my first game.
It must be crazy to have like your first game be like that big of a smash hit. I just wanted to ask you, did you any like other developers or like content creators or like anyone inspire you to like make these huge successful games?
Well, it was a complete surprise to me as well. I did not want this. I did not expect it to do well at all. I just kind of, well, I wanted to make it for my friends to enjoy mostly. But content creator wise, I guess like you could say that Flood Escape 2 developer Crazy Blocks was like sort of my idol back in the day. I really wanted to also make a game that big at some point.
It's safe to say that Nullxiety was your most successful game. Let's shift more to like your development aspects, like just yourself, like independently. Nullxiety was your most successful game so far?
Honestly, I think Isolator was even more successful than Nullxiety if we're speaking visits count, as far as I remember. But Nullxiety was the game that brought me the most revenue in comparison to Isolator, because Isolator didn't have anything monetization wise. I did not even think about that back then.
Was there anything from your previous works that wanted you to make a game like Nullxiety? I mean, it's a sequel, right?
Yeah, it's a really weird story, and honestly, I don't even remember what the story of the game was supposed to be at this point. It's been so long. But in short, the Isolator game in of itself is supposed to be like a very mysterious, sort of almost horror puzzle game for two players, right? And this mysterious atmosphere just kind of inspired me to make a sequel to it because I mean, well, obviously people loved it, so why not continue in this journey?
All right, so like of all the games that you have developed so far, the ones that we know are like the big three ones, Nullxiety, Nullwork, and Isolator. Which of them are you like the proudest of? Which of them gave you like the biggest like, how should we say, like feeling of satisfaction? Which one is like the one that you like the most?
Yeah, honestly, it's a very tough question because at this stage, I kind of hate my games, the current ones anyway. They're very old, outdated, and made by a 13-year-old little guy who had no idea what game development was. But, you know, still somewhere deep in my heart, I guess I do have some sort of special connection with them. And I think the most interesting story-wise was Nullxiety, and also that's where my name comes from. It's a funny story. But Isolator was definitely the most fun game design-wise because the idea of a two-person puzzle back then wasn't really a big thing. Now I see a lot of games on front page where you are kind of like playing together with someone to pass an obby or something like that. But back then it was very new, and I think people enjoyed it because it was something new.
All right, so basically, we can say that like Isolator like popularized the two-player genre.
Yeah, I mean, it almost makes me think that I might be wrong, but uh, I haven't seen any games on Roblox like that before.
All right, so like one other question, like I've noticed that Isolator is like pretty similar to like another like two-player story-driven game called A Way Out. Have you heard of it?
A Way Out, is that a Roblox game?
No, it's an EA game where like you play as two prisoners and you have to help each other escape. Like they have to escape the prison together. Like I'm not like saying that like there was any like copying, but like brilliant minds can like you know get like the same thoughts. So like and I find it kind of funny like how similar both of those games are as you. It's a two-player like split screen game.
Yeah, right. I think I have it on Steam actually. Now that I think about it, I've never played it really. I'm assuming it came out before Isolator. Uh, yeah, but obviously, like in the global game industry, I'm sure I wasn't the first person to come up with two-player co-op games. But yeah, a Way Out seemed like a fun game to me. I saw it like recently from the videos. But the other game that I actually played back when I released Isolator was We Were Here. It's also a Steam game, also a two-player game, and I was really confused when I saw it because well I saw it after I made the first game. But obviously I don't think that they copied me or anything. It's a pretty basic concept of a two-player co-op game.
I wanna go back to what you were saying about your satisfaction for the old games you made. It may come as a shock to the audience to say that you weren't necessarily happy about it or proud, but if you think about it, I think a developer always thinks that they can do better, and that now that they've gained more experience, there's something in the works for them to do something that has more impact. Using that knowledge, do you have any plans to develop any other games?
Yeah, that's a good question. I definitely don't like the current games exactly for that reason that you mentioned is, oh, I could do so much better now. I have 5 years practically of game developer experience at this point. I'm matured up. I'm a lot better off than I used to be.
No
And
more
yes,
iPad.
yeah, no more iPad. Definitely. I have my workstation, which is very nice. But yeah, I am. I think game development is definitely the thing that will be my whole life. I love it. It's just my life. I am currently in a game developer university, as a matter of fact. So I'm really putting all the work into it. I really want to make the best games imaginable.
All right, so I want to ask you about another thing. So as I think we're all aware, Flamingo, he made like 3 videos like where he played your games, and they all like amassed a total of like 20.8 million views, which is to be frankly a lot of viewers.
Other YouTubers did it as well, right?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
mainly like Flamingo, like the big one. He made videos about your games, like what was that like? How did it feel? Like personally, how did it feel?
Yeah, that was amazing. Flamingo was the first. Well, he was the one that really pushed my games, I think, because he played Isolator, like maybe a couple months after its release. Uh, Before he played it, it was already kind of getting popular in of it itself. It had like I think 400,000 visits, but then one day I look at my sales, right, and then I see uh, Flamingo purchased like a Game Pass or a donation or something like that, and I was so confused at first. I was like, "Oh, that's just a impersonator or something," because I used to watch Flamingo as well back in the day. Uh, yeah, and so I saw it. I freaked out. It was insane. I mean, what? I was 13 years old, right? It's an insane achievement. For a guy like me. I haven't seen anything like that before. Uh, yeah, and then to my surprise, well, he didn't message me at first, but then I check it, and he actually sent me a friend request on Roblox. I was just over the moon back in the moment. It was a lot, definitely. Yeah, and I just kind of started talking to him on Roblox, and he was very inspired by the game. I would say he was like, I was obviously his fan, but then he kind of acted like a fan of my own, and I was just so, I can't describe that feeling.
Are you guys still friends?
uh I would love to say that, like, I have him added on Discord, but we never really talked as of recently, probably because he's gotten a lot more popular now. I think he has over 12 million subscribers now. Back in the day, it was only like 3 million.
I
But
mean,
still,
yeah. I mean your story about Flamingo popularizing your game is actually one of many. I remember Minitune developer Piggy talking about how when Flamingo made a video on his game, his CCU bumped up to 12,000 concurrent users, I'm pretty sure.
yeah.
And it's just really nice to see someone like Flamingo popularizing games so much, especially underground ones.
Yeah, it's truly amazing. I mean, he basically made my entire life just by recording that one video. I'm very thankful for the guy.
Let's talk about other people who wish to make games on Roblox. Is it possible to live off Roblox development?
Uh, yeah, definitely. I mean, even for my games that are not focused on, making revenue, I think I have like one developer product in Nullxiety, and that game alone brings me enough to actually sustain myself where I live right now and pay for my university tuition as well. So it's insane how much Roblox games actually can make you.
All right, so I just have I have another question here. as time goes by, do you find the ability for developers to make games on this platform to be like easier than ever, harder than ever? Like, does it get like easier to develop games with all these like new AI tools and like free models, or do you think it's going in the opposite direction and there's like a much higher standard that developers have to reach now?
Oh, that's a very interesting question. Yeah, I've been using Roblox Studio for what, 5 years, 6 years at this point, and I constantly see an update and add all those new features. And some of them are really, really nice. I mean, the improvement in Lightning, I think it was in 2021, still remember that. It was just the most insane update to me, how Roblox went from a Lego game, Lego looking game, to something that is very much comparable to other game engines at this stage. And, introduction of voice chat, editable images and all that, a whole bunch of very cool tech, right? That is amazing. I am in love with what they've added, and I think it can only help the developer community. Aside from maybe the AI stuff you mentioned, its help is questionable at times. I'm not against the AI per se, but honestly, to me as an advanced developer, it was not helpful at all. And the fact that they collect data of people without them being aware that much, I'm not sure how much I like that. But maybe it's helpful for people like me back in the day when I was only 13 years old. I think I would have really loved to have ChatGPT on my side to help me make my first code.
I have one more question here. Yes. Do you
Sure, go
think, do you
ahead.
have like any tips for like new developers who like want to make it big? Like, what's the best tip that you could give to them?
I think if you're just starting off, the best advice I can give you is start with something very simple, like a very clear game idea that you want to make. Make a prototype. Try to play it with your friends. Make your friends play it, and then see if they like it or not. Take their feedback, iterate, improve the game, and only in that way, if you start with something like very, very clear and simple, then I think you can develop a really nice game out of it. And then after trying something simple, you can go bigger and bigger and grow. But definitely don't overscope in the very beginning. Don't try to make the next GTA 6 or whatever.
I want to quickly. I want to end on a question that I liked what you said about artificial intelligence. I think it's good. Me personally, I think it's great for people to get that visual image of what they want, and the generative AI helps with that. However, the way Roblox advertised that AI, allowing you to help build your structures and stuff, they presented that, I think, at RDC 24, was it 23? I have no idea. I'm pretty sure it was RDC 23.
Right.
But I don't know how I feel about it being able to. It's a little too big for me. I like that people are able to get that visual image, but the question is, how big of a contribution is it going to be, to the point where it's going to take away the creative freedom that builders themselves come up?
Yeah, that's a good point. Well, I think at the current stage, the AI isn't advanced enough to actually make, restrictions. I think right now the generative textures, maybe some AI code generator is quite nice for kids, especially to learn about it. That is, if they actually use it to learn and not just make the games for them, right? I guess an important note here is that back when I was starting off, obviously we didn't have any generative AI back then, but I was mostly just copying code from online and then analyzing how it worked, trying to figure out why certain things happened, what kind of text happened, to made it do it, whatever it was doing. And yeah, that also made me learn English very, very well, just by researching a lot of stuff on the internet, on YouTube and otherwise.
All right, let's end on a good note. Thank you for answering that. recently the write-ins for the Innovation Awards happened. Did you partake in any of that? And if not, I have another question.
No, they don't really nominate me for anything.
Is there any underrated games or games that you feel should be recognized for the write-ins?
Well, very good question. Honestly, there aren't that many good games on Roblox left from what I'm seeing. Like, I'm sure there are some hidden gems here and there that nobody knows about. And honestly, nothing really comes up to my head right away because, well, I kind of stopped playing Roblox all that much. I'm mostly just working, which is quite sad, to be honest. The fact that they don't really make that many fun, unique games anymore.
No. All right. Well, I mean, thank you so much for answering these questions. There was a lot to take in. Thank you so much for being our guest here, and we are so excited to have you on the interview. Thank you so much. Thank you to Noob for helping us find you, and thank you so much for just again being willing to come on the show. It's not every day we get to see people like you, so you being open-minded is just so helpful. Casper, is there anything you want to say before we sign off?
No, I don't have anything. One thing. I want to thank you all for watching this episode, and hopefully we'll see you next week where we interview another lucky person. Thank you for watching the interview. Goodbye.